Nandan Nilekani, let me come to you now. And I remember when I asked you, what is the secret sauce that holds this set of people, this set of individuals together? And you said one, of course, is the unifying glue, which is, of course, Mr. Murthy. The other, you said, was that we believed that this was an idea, it was a mission, it was a purpose, and hence each one of us decided that we must ensure that our egos are subordinate to the larger goal, to the collective goal. It hasn't been an easy journey, clearly. I mean, there are differences. There hasn't been consensus on every issue, but you have evolved a consensus mechanism through the course of the last 4 decades to be able to get to where you are today. As you look at the journey today, rewind back to some of the inflection points, and more importantly, as Mr. Murthy says, if he's given you the task of another 60 years for the company to flourish, what are you going to do? What does the action agenda look like?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Shireen, and you've always been watching us, and you know more about us than we know about ourselves, so it's a little problematic sometimes. I think, first of all, let me say that when I met Murthy way back in '79, he was the most charismatic leader I'd met, and I think he spotted talent, or hopefully talent, and he gave us opportunity. And frankly, if he had said jump off the cliff, we would have jumped off the cliff. It was that level of loyalty and we had for him. So when he proposed the idea of this company, it was a no-brainer. And we must remember something, that the rest of us who are about 10 years younger than him and with Raghavan, we didn't have much to lose. We were in our 20s. It was not a big deal. But for him, it was a huge thing to lose, because he was at the top of his career. He was the head of the software group at a very good company. He was earning a lot of money. And for him, frankly, and his wife Sudha, who gave up a job at Telco, I think the costs of doing this were much, much higher, and he just took it. So I think we were very committed to that. But I forgot your question. I think, we're having this problem. All of us are having senior...
The other thing that Nandan Nilekani told me is that make sure that you get a team that grows old together. This is clearly a sign of that.
Now we are all into our senior moments. So if you find that we forget things, please excuse us. No. We are past our prime.
No, my question was, for the next 60 years, he set you clearly an action agenda.
I think I do have this huge responsibility. Because going back to his phrase of 2006, I'm the last of the jokers left.
Do you miss having the other jokers around?
Oh yeah. It's no one to talk to. I only talk to Salil, but Salil is so busy selling that I can't talk to him also. So I think my challenge is a little more acute, because since I have some founder's clout and all that, I can do some. But I'll be handing over to a chairman at whatever point that I exit from the scene, who will be the first, not the first, but a non-founder. And now there's no plan B now. I mean, if I hand over to somebody and it doesn't work out, there's no plan B. I can't come back at some 75 or something. So, and I don't think any of these guys want to come back either. So
maybe we should ask them.
You can ask them. Maybe they want to come back. They haven't told me. So anyway, I think so there's no plan B. So I have to make sure that when I exit the scene, I implement his vision of putting in place the leadership structure, people, and with the right values to take it forward. So that's really actually the biggest thing on my head.
And that's a serious issue. And I want to get you to comment on what you just said, Nandan, because as you pointed out, you said there is no plan B. In light of what has happened previously, what is it that you believe needs to be put in place to ensure that you get it right? Because this has been a challenge. Let's be clear about that. And secondly, do you believe that in hindsight, and I want to ask each one of you, and Mr. Murthy, I want to ask you as well, that this hard coding that at 60 you need to move away, at 60 you need to retire, at 60 it is the sunset. Do you believe in hindsight today that maybe it should have been different?
No, I mean, look, if not 60, maybe 65. All that is fine. But look, at the end of the day, we're all mortal, right? We're not going to be around. And that's one of the reasons why we're having the 40th is we don't know whether they're there for the 50th. So, really, seriously, I'm not joking. Let's get this done, because I don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now. So, you have to, how do you, And how do you create institutions that outlive you? How do you create institutions that cross generations? How do you create institutions that move from an ownership model to a totally professional model? In fact, when we first began, Murthy said, we will be the ultimate professionals company. I remember our first tagline was professionals company. But what you realize now is that, you need to have a combination of, professional ownership, all that stuff. So I think it's not clear to me what's going to happen.
It's not clear to you what's going
I
to
mean,
happen.
I still
that's
haven't.
not very reassuring to hear.
No, I haven't found yet a person whom I can hand off to. Let's put it that way.
What is the timeline that you're giving yourself?
I'm not going to talk here.
Okay, all right.